What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. To all the mothers out there, hope you guys all had a fantastic Mother's Day weekend as well. We got a lot of exciting stuff today. A lot of exciting stuff. But we got Anna in the house. Good morning to you. We got Bill, Brian, Cindy. Good morning to D, Julie, Jay's in the house. Good morning to Jeff. We got Kevin rocking with us. Good morning to Lauren, Lucian, Marius, Matthew. We got Micus. Good morning, Tim and Win. All my peeps out YouTube land. Good morning to all of you. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button as well. Yeah, we got some fun, interesting thing. Yeah, Kevin says, good morning, meme stock Monday. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We'll start with the SPY. We'll get into the news. We got the SPY with a little bit of a gap up. Still inside day on Friday's candle, but we are above the VPOC. So if we pull back, I'm looking for some kind of support around 520.92. We do have resistance approaching. We hit it on Friday already, so maybe a little bit easier to break through, but watching 522.77, it is also a bullish gap and go too. So anybody that was looking to take profits on Friday, lighten up some of their positions, completely regretting it, like they got the tattoo that says no regrets. Mm-hmm. But then we got some of you understood that one. We got 523.50 is the next little resistance. Again, we have already hit that resistance. It's not unbreakable. We hit that one back on. We actually opened up there on the 4th. Keep in mind, we do have a big week. We got some earnings still coming out, but the bigger thing this week would be CPI coming out on I believe it's Wednesday. So I think we got CPI on Wednesday coming out. So market's going to be waiting for that. Could that give us a little bit of chop for today and tomorrow? Of course. Although I do think that we are slightly more bullish than bearish today. Just kind of running in again. As soon as we broke through that little pivot, I was like, okay, that's all I need. As soon as we got through that candle, I'm looking for all-time highs, and I think we're slowly creeping to that direction. But what's the path to get there? Is it a little chop first? I think today out of the gate, at least pretty bullish, but we have to see if we break through some of those key resistance spots on the SPY. Let's take a look real quick at Qs. The Qs, nice little gap up, still inside of Friday's candle. The support on Qs is a little bit lower, 442.10. We are breaking through a decent amount of resistance at the open. If we open here, the next one up is 444.52. We almost got there, not quite on Friday, and then the one after that becomes 445.78. So Qs is still looking fairly decent in a bullish direction. TLT kind of just still hanging out in this range. It is a little bit of a gap up. Resistance slightly above us, $90.66, but we are holding the $90 range, which I think is good for the market, so we're not crashing there. And then we got to get to what Kevin's talking about. We got to figure out what Kevin's talking about. He's talking about Meme Monday. That's it. This is it. This is Roaring Kitty. So if you guys don't know, you guys missed the whole GameStop fiasco back in 2020. I don't know, maybe there's another shot. But he came back after 3 years of posting. Last night, he threw this picture out there, which in meme world, this is game on. So game on. What stock is he talking about? No, he didn't say anything. He just posted this. That's causing GameStop to get a 30% move. At least it was 30%. I'm not sure if it still is, but huge gap up on GameStop. So internet is lighting up on fire again. Is this a fadeable move? I have no idea. I have no idea. Is the company's valuation really, should that be $25? Probably not. Most likely not. But it's exciting. It's exciting. Next stop up. I mean, we're at the higher end of this range. So if you do want to jump in and you want to play GameStop again, he didn't say which stock he liked. So he could come out today, tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, never again. Who knows? Maybe he's just posting one image. No idea. But the market likes it. They're like, man, I remember when this GameStop thing went to $800. It was crazy. So we'll see. We'll see if he comes out and what he posts. So I think the internet is watching him. The apes are watching him, and we'll see if we get any more meme movement. But already, really, really good move out of GameStop after posting a picture of a guy sitting up in a chair. So we'll see. AMC, are we getting any love on this one? Yep. So this one's gapping up as well. This one's sitting at about 50 cents higher, so not bad for a just under $3 stock at the time. What I looked at so the differences throwing are yeah, yeah, you could do that. The differences on this stock. GameStop the last time we had that move, it was like 130% short flow. It was crazy. Whatever the exact number was. Right now, GameStop is still pretty high short float, but way, way different than we saw back in 2020. What about AMC? AMC short float 18%. So again, not as crazy. I thought maybe you might come out and go, hey, like, what about Big Lots is in position for 26, 27%. So it's still a little bit higher than GameStop, but maybe he just sticks with the OG. Maybe he sticks with the OG and he goes, let's rally up GameStop again. He got bored. He's got nothing else to do. He's like, let's go. So we'll see. Not much movement out of big. So watch GameStop, watch AMC. They could be fun to trade. Be very careful. Like Lucian says, whatever your R is, you can throw an absolute zero R at it, right? So if you have a $100 R, if you have a $500 R, how could you play it safely so you don't get FOMO and you don't have to really worry too much about like, oh man, this thing's going up to 800, which who knows? Again, the squeeze is much different than 2020, but whatever your R is, you could buy that amount of shares, and then worst case it goes to zero. Max you lose is your R. Okay, make it up somewhere else. But at least you were there, and you're like, you can tell your grandkids, I was in GameStop this when he posted to sit up in your chair. So I don't know. We'll see. Let me know if you guys have other tickers on the chart on the watch list that you guys are watching. We'll definitely pull those up for you guys too. Baba does report earnings tomorrow, but Bob is having a nice little move today as well. Again, could be a little bit of a pre-market earnings run, but they have had a they kind of put out a little announcement last night too that they are going to heavily invest into AI. So not only do we have the earnings pump, but we do have a little bit of a AI play as well in Baba. That is gapping up. The gap looks pretty fantastic. I do want to watch this one little spot over here. So right where we're sitting right now, 82, 89, I do have a little bit of resistance. The next spot I would say up from there, you have a couple, maybe like 83.71. I think more notably, probably about 84.53. And then the big one, big target would probably take us to about 85.94. So watch those, but be careful if you're going to swing something. Make sure you do know earnings are tomorrow. Be prepared for that and adjust your positions accordingly. And yep, Apple also making a new we saw it. Let me go to Google first. Yeah, let me go to Google. Google got a pop on Friday, and I did see in the chat somebody's asking, like, what happened? What happened with the Googs? Let me take these off the screen. But they did get a rando pop on Friday. That was from news that they were it was AI news from Google that they're going to start pushing more of the AI Google and invest into it and develop the search engine portion of it. So market loved it, got an absolute nice rip. I think the low of this move was 166.23 all the way up to 169. So pretty fantastic. This is a 5-minute chart. So 5, 10, 15, pretty fantastic. Pretty much 15 minutes, 20 minutes for Google on Friday. Apple fires back today. And they're now saying, I forget the exact announcement they put out, but it was AI topic again. Yep. So Apple's potential partnership. I don't know what the deal is with Apple, but there was rumors about them partnering with Rivian. Now they got partnership with OpenAI. So opens up revenue opportunity, says Tech Bull, the golden goose for Cook and I don't even know. I don't even know what this is. But Dan Ives has been pretty bullish on Apple for I think a minute. So take it for what it is. But you do have rumors of potential AI partnership with trying to get into the open AI space, which would be pretty huge for them, I think. I think maybe that could be a nice driving source of revenue. I still think Apple needs the next like iPhone invention type thing to really get moving. Other than that, they did have a huge buyback program in place. That's good for investors. Earnings were just kind of okay, wasn't tremendous. But we are getting a nice gap and go on Apple today. I don't even see my VPOC lines, so I don't know what happened to that. Let me just wait or refresh. Let's refresh. I want to figure out where those lines are. AAPL. Okay, it's broken. Volume, volume profile. I don't even. What happened? They just took it off. Let me add this back real quick. Uh, indicators. They just said no, no more tools for you. That's it. All right, we're back. All right, so pretty good gap up. Look for the first little support if we do pull back on this one. So if it's a failed gap and go out of the gate, watch for like 184.75. Otherwise, we have a lot of room on this thing up to 187.74. So I wouldn't mind a small little high wave candle out of the gate on Apple and then run with that AI story, I think, in a bullish direction. So not bad on that. GME, AMC, in terms of like VPOCs and profiles and everything else, the technicals are just an absolute disaster. So um, they're all going to move based off of the meme community more than anything. Google is gapping down on the news, so a little vice versa from because obviously that would be direct competition back into Google as they just continue to fight. But you do have a bearish gap and go. You do have a little bit of support here. You also have the 20 EMA starting to creep up. Could it be a fade opportunity? Yeah, I don't necessarily know that if we do start to break, especially if we get a close today under 164.07, maybe we still got that 20 EMA support coming in, and there could be a balance. We close the gap potentially, but otherwise, I'm looking for targets probably about 159.56. As much as people are like, well, now that Apple's gonna start hopping into AI, now there's more competition for Google. You already have Microsoft kind of stepping up competition with the Chat GPT. Honestly, they're used for two different things, and I think Google's fine either way. But probably buy the dips. This gap down here, 155.96, would be a decent spot to look for adding some positions into Google if you want to. But other than that, I don't think I'd short Google, especially with the market right now ripping. So uh, I'd probably want to see that thing fade. I don't think I really want to go bullish or bearish on it. I think I prefer to take Apple bullish if I had to. Microsoft MSFT. Nice gap on this one. A little bit of a retest though. Um, Probably looking at targets on this one to 421.94. Otherwise, this should be a little retest. I don't know if we come all the way back down and we close this gap, but maybe coming into like 416.08 if we get down there would be a decent spot to look. Uh, Not a blind order for me. It would just be see what happens, see if we get any kind of candles down there. If it starts to break through that level, then okay, I can make a case for 414.62 as some kind of support. Otherwise, the next spot up, 421.06, and then after that, 421.94. And if it wants to go crazy, I don't think we get there, especially with CPI coming out on Wednesday. That would be bananas, but we got 428.67 would be the bigger target on more of a swing trade type setup. We got Coinbase. Jenny says she's in on GameStop. That's because you got Australian time zone, and like apparently that's what Roaring Kitty's time zone is too. So he posted last night. I think I first saw it like 45 minutes after he posted, and it was GameStop, at least after hours or pre-market, whatever you want to call it, was already starting to move. So yep, GameStop could be fun though. In worst case, you're paying for a good time. That's it. Absolute worst case. But we also have to see. Well, he might not even be talking about GameStop. He might not be. He might just like that picture. I couldn't tell you. Very cryptic of that kitty. Uh, Pretty. Wait. What am I looking at? This is GameStop again. My brain just went back to GameStop. We got Coinbase. Mm, Coinbase, just hanging out. Yeah, nothing too crazy. We do have a decent. We have some support on Coinbase, but I don't like the fact that this VPOC did close below those two. So we do have the 100 EMA slowly coming in. That could give us a little bit of maybe some sideways chop, maybe a little bit more momentum into this one. I don't think it's ready to go yet. I would need to see a little bit more. We're still trending down, and that was not a great close on Friday. We are also opening into a little bit of resistance here, somewhere around 205.30. So maybe if we get above that, we could be looking for like 210, 211, somewhere up in that zone in terms of a day trade goes. But I would like to see this one actually come down first. Maybe look for a better spot somewhere around 202.81 if you want to try it. Um, Support side of things, we do have to look at this 198.74. We've already hit that as well, and it does look like we're kind of still trending down. So maybe see if you want to wait out till like 192.85, 193, somewhere in that zone will be probably a much better risk reward spot for it. Otherwise, it is a gap and go, but so is the rest of the market. And this one, not a crazy strong close on Friday. So probably at least out of the gate, I don't think I'd be looking to play that one. I don't think I have edge out of the gate. Let's see. We got Netflix. Netflix. Uh, it's obviously been trending. We got, I mean, I don't know if you want to call this a pullback, but we got two red candles. Even this one was a gap up, failed kind of gap and go, but that was still more of a retest. Probably still be leaning a little bit more bullish than bearish. You have a lot of days kind of already running up into this resistance area. So we'll see on this one. Interesting location. We are above the Thursday's VPOC. So look to see if we could hang into maybe 613.19. Target to the higher side. The first one at least would be 619.20. I think that's doable. It's just to the higher end range. I have this blue line here. I'm not even sure what that's for. Not even positive. But looks like we got there on Friday. That's where we kind of rejected. And if we could start getting higher, maybe 630.62 would be targets. Has anybody watching any of the live Netflix stuff? I think they had John Mulvaney for 6 days live. They had the roast of Tom Brady. They're definitely trying to get into which my theory is at least is they would like to build it up, and obviously they're kind of taking it slow and just seeing how much traction and getting through all the kinks of live feeds. But I think at some point, especially if it does pick up and you see them start to ramp that up even more, I wouldn't be surprised in the future we have another Netflix subscription that's like you pay a little extra and now you also get the live content too. So down the road, I think it's good, but they've definitely been pushing some live stuff lately. You got Arm, the John. I did watch a few episodes of the John Mulaney thing. I only caught one live. Honestly, I was completely lost for most of the show. I was like, I'm so confused as to what's happening right now in the show, but I don't know. Arm Holdings, decent little gap up. This one is a retest gap, also opening into a tad bit of resistance. See if this one wants to pull back first. Probably looking for a better level, somewhere around 110.56. So let's see if we get that little pullback first. That would be a better opportunity, I think, to get in, and then targets to about 123.01. So see if that one wants to give us a little rest at open. JW and Jay Linder is looking for the which stock is Roaring Kitty talking about? Like which one does he want to play? He wants to go Nordstrom's. He's thinking, oh, maybe. 21.4% short float. You do have a gap up with the rest of the market. It is a retest gap as well. I think we are starting to get into retail earnings coming out soon. I think Kohl's is maybe next week. This one looks like it's on the 30th of May. So we'll see. But we do have a little bit of resistance we're gapping into. Obviously, high short float. If this thing opens a little bit higher, so specifically above current location and above this wick, then I think we have a decent amount of room up to 2140. I'd like to see how this one kind of reacts first. This one I'm actually going to move up on the list though. I'm going to move this one a little bit higher. I don't think this one gets the meme factor that we see on like GameStop and what happened to this? Why did none of that move? Just because it is a, I mean, retail clothing type store. I lost the stock completely on my list. I don't know why I don't want to go back to it. JWM. There we go. JWN. Let's get this one up higher. If it gives me a high wave out of the gate, I think it's positioned pretty well for that. It's at that resistance where I kind of want to see like at least a little selling, and then if we get the break, okay, we could try it. We could try it. So Tilla says Baba. We did take a look at Baba already. That one looks pretty fantastic. Affirm. Affirm is right at that 200 on the daily. According to TradingView, we got a little squeeze going on it. A little bit of a TTM squeeze. But it was an okay close, I guess, right into the 200 on Friday. VPOC was a little bit higher, at least than this Wednesday. Probably a little bit more chop. Maybe you get some bulls buying it off the 200. So not bad. This might be one to watch for a swing trade. I don't know if I have any edge in terms of a day trade to it. But maybe you're looking for that little support from Friday to hold, so 31.94. And then I think you do have a good one at 31.56. So in terms of risk reward, maybe you want to take the low of Wednesday and you throw a stop in somewhere down here. And then probably watch this one at open. I would like to see a little bit of a pullback. Otherwise, the initial target today is probably about 33.20. So we'll see what happens on that one. But so I don't have that much room to the higher side for today as well until this thing breaks out. But good, decent location to try to try a swing. We'll see. Corey's in the house. What's up, Corey? Corey's in the house. That was a show, I think, actually. I think it was a Disney show. ZK. Just I have no information on it. Just IPO'd on Friday. Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea what the company does either, so I can't really cover too much. Oh, is this the what's the electric car? Yeah, the Chinese EV. This is not the one for $10,000, is it? This is the $10,000 car. Yeah, this is the Chinese EV company. I never even heard of them until they went public, so I can't tell you too much on this one. But the only thing I have, and use this very loosely, but 27.53 was the last real volume zone. So see if you get a pullback. It is a retest gap, but fresh off the IPO on that one. PLTR. This one's just still kind of hanging out. Yeah, not a horrific close on Palantir. Honestly, I mean, we are still trending down, so I don't know if I want to be the first one to jump in and buy this up for day trade today. But why I say it's not horrific? Well, we did come down. We did retest the VPOC from April 19th. We got a good bounce off that. This VPOC did close slightly higher than that too. So if there's a zone where this thing has got to really bounce, it's here. This would be my spot. You do have 1, 2, 3, 4 days. This is 4 days of straight selling. So maybe a little bit of a relief bounce potentially. Targets to the higher side would be 21, 28, but you really got to kind of hang on to this $20.55 range. Otherwise, you probably see a little bit of a bigger pullback. And I think at least minimum you're looking at $20.18 and potentially even well, if we line it up with the 200, you got something around 1928. So we'll see. But not a horrific close just in terms of like retest, and it is holding the volume zones, but I think there's a little probably some stronger stocks at least today. I think we got Tesla. Tesla's chilling, so a nice little gap and go. Definitely inside, still in the lower range. I know Jeremy was looking for like the close below this candle, so we've definitely done that. That close was anywhere below 170.26. That happened on Friday. I don't really see much support on this one until about 164.94. And that VPOC did close way lower than obviously anything recently. This gap is closed now. So again, could this thing get a bounce here? Potentially. It's possible. I wouldn't try it now. So I would wait a little bit, see if this thing chops sideways, see if I can get some kind of good setup on it. Otherwise, if you're in this thing short, I think the short size still looks pretty favorable down to 164.94. How that affects ZK, I don't know if again, ZK is a little too new for me, and I don't have much data on the chart for it, but um Tesla gapping down or continues to go down, that's going to affect all probably EVs. PGNY. We got 2 minutes left. This is down on earnings. So they beat on earnings. They lost surprise miss of about 11 million to the downside. It's not a good gap at all. The only thing I could say is maybe capitulation, and that's what the Bulls are hoping for. So, the gap looks horrible. It doesn't look good. Technically, it's a retest gap today, but honestly, you're still on the inside of that candle. The close of that candle wasn't bad. Also, the volume zone came in where it should. So the volume zone held the bottom pivot right there. So see if you get some pullbacks. The way I would probably play this one, if I wanted to, or if I like this company, and I'm not quite sure what they do, but if this thing does pull back, especially if you come back down to like this 25.75 or somewhere in the zone, you get a good hammer, good setup, great. And then you got risk reward if you're putting your stop down here. 23.80 would be my hard sell limit. So if you want to take a shot for some kind of gap fill, or there is capitulation with this volume, I don't know necessarily that this is bulls like loving this company to get in, but we've been selling for quite some time on this one. This is back to February, and then I'm guessing even before that. Yeah, so there's a lot of shorts profitable on this, and most likely it's a lot of them locking their gains, but you have some good risk reward if this thing pulls back a little bit further, maybe get that gap close. So we'll see. Target earnings is on the 22nd, TGT. Yeah, for right now it's hanging out. You do have we're sitting above all moving averages, which is good. Another gap and go right into resistance on this one. And yeah, we do have a lot of retail coming up in this week, next week in terms of earnings, but target on this one for a little bit longer time frame, especially if we get above kind of the opening price. Maybe we cruise this to 167.55, but that is the opening bell. So everybody out in YouTube land, I appreciate you. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys on